Hi everyone, this is Tim from Ring Squad, coming at you with another Fantasy Friday video, even though it's not Friday. Kinda lost what day it is during the week during these times, but hey, whatever. It is Fantasy Friday. For those of you who don't know, Fantasy Friday is where we take either current storylines or previous storylines and book them the way we would like to see them booked. So sometimes we take current storyline and predict where they would go, or sometimes we just change them from the old. In this video, it'll be an old storyline. In previous videos, right, we've done current storylines and we've done future storylines. So this video is about the summer of Punk. And I know, a lot of people have covered this topic. A lot of people have said, it should have done this, it should have done that, it should have done blah, 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 blah. Mine's going to be a little different. And I'm just going to get right into it. So, rambling and discussing where it might go, I'm just going to get right into it. We start off at Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago. That goes exactly the way it went. One minor thing that doesn't need to be fixed: when Alberto Del Rio came in with the Money in the Bank briefcase, he kind of ran straight to Punk and Punk just kicks him in the head. I would have rather have him attack him from behind or something and then get attacked while he's trying to cash in, but that's super minor and doesn't really affect what I'm doing. So CM Punk wins, Alberto tries to cash in, they cash out, he runs to the crowd, blah, 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 blah. The next night on Raw, Vince McMahon comes out and says, I'm going to hold a tournament over the next 2 weeks, and we are going to crown a new number one contender for the thing. Everybody's like, well, why not just a new champion? He says John Cena will be the other challenge. So John Cena comes out and says, well, thank you. I apologize for not getting the job done last night. I gave it my best. He was just slightly better. Typical Cena promo. And Vince McMahon goes, that's fine, but you did lose my championship belt. So, here's what's going to happen. If you lose again, you're fired. You have your match next week. If you lose, you're done. If you lose, right, at any time, man, you're going to be fired. So, Cena's like, well, shit. I don't really have a leg to stand on because I lost the championship. So, the tournament goes just like it actually did in real life, with Rey Mysterio winning, except in this case, Rey Mysterio doesn't win the championship and then have the belt for only an hour and a half. I think it was like an hour and a half of real time. He wins, but he's the new number one contender. And the reason I would do it that way is because I'd rather have Rey not be WWE champion and versus him being WWE championship and then losing it on the same night. I think if you do make him championship, he needs to have a decent run with it, or just not do it at all. And I don't like the way it panned out. So here it is. Rey wins. He's the new number one contender. Then, so they face off. Cena wins. Okay, this is a 2-week tournament. So it's the Monday after Money in the Bank, and then the following Monday. It's a 2-week tournament. Cena wins, beats Rey for the championship. In what really happened is what CM Punk came out. He's like, well, I'm still champion. Blah 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 blah. And it was only like 8 days. CM Punk doesn't come back, and I'll get to when he comes back in a little bit. But for right now, we're focusing on Cena. This is like peak, big match Jonathan, Super Cena era. So he faces a bunch of people over the next few months, right? This is July, right? So it's him versus Triple H at SummerSlam, right? And then that's a big marquee matchup. It's a rematch of WrestleMania 22 back in 2006, right? Triple H is a little different now. It's post DX, kind of getting into that corporate feel of Triple H. So that's the first match. He goes, and remember, it's that that rule isn't again. I can't think of the other word, but it's against Cena, right? If he loses, he's done, right? So he faces Triple H for the title at SummerSlam, big marquee matchup. The pay-per-views in between, right? There's like the backlashes and the battlegrounds and the stuff like that. I forget what it was in 2011, but between SummerSlam and Survivor Series, right, there's a few like paper. He faces like upper mid carders, not quite main eventers, but maybe he faces like Christian. Edge was already retired at this point. Welcome back, Edge, by the way. But he faces maybe Randy Orton. I know he's a main eventer, but they've had a lot of matches. So he faces maybe Randy Orton. and he faces Mark Henry and Big Show, and he keeps winning. He keeps winning and winning and winning. Then we get to Survivor Series, and Vince McMahon is kind of pissed, right? He's like, I gave that change to Raw. I said if he loses, he's done, right? Very Ric Flair-esque, right? And he's like, he just keeps winning, damn it. So he says, all right, it's Survivor Series. Here's what's gonna happen, right? And they announce it like 3 weeks at a time. He's like, I got the perfect opponent for you for Survivor Series. Gong or dong or bong, whatever you want to call it. Undertaker comes out, and Cena's like, well, shit. He's facing Undertaker at Survivor Series. So it's the marquee matchup of Survivor Series. You know, it's where Undertaker debuted. It's where he has a lot of success. He's facing Cena with that. You know, if he loses, he's gone. And it's for the WWE Championship, which Taker hasn't held really as much. You know, he's held the World Heavyweight Championship, not so much the WWE Championship. So here he is at Survivor Series. Cena wins by like the skin of his teeth. It takes like 2 or 3 attitude adjustments. He doesn't make Taker tap, but it takes like 2 or 3, and he just barely wins. You know, he like reverses like an old school into an attitude adjustment. That'd actually be pretty cool, not gonna lie. So he, you know, Taker jumps off the jump rope and he catches him, and then maybe he rolls through and hits another one. I know he didn't do that move until later in his career, but you know, for the sake of the story, let's just say he does that. He gets 2 or 3 attitude adjustments, puts Taker down, everybody's shocked. So the next night, Monday after Survivor Series, Vince McMahon comes out again, and he says, all right, Cena, you face Taker, you face Triple H, you faced Randy Orton, and maybe like 1 or 2 others. You're going to face all of them at TLC in a TLC match for your championship. And if you lose, you're done. So this is the big one, because this is TLC's before Royal Rumble, right? So again, Cena barely wins. You know, he like climbs up to the ladder really fast, or I haven't really figured out knocks 2 people off and goes up to himself. However, it is a very by the skin of your teeth win that Cena wins, right? So we kind of go through Christmas. It's the first Raw of the New Year, right? Christmas is usually happy. Storylines kind of die down around Christmas anyway. So we pick back up the New Year Raw. I don't know if it's like, I don't have the calendar of 2011. I don't know if it's on New Year's. I don't know if it's around New Year's. But when they kind of get back into the swing of things, it's the Raw of the New Year. It's the first Raw of the New Year, right? And again, Vince McMahon comes out. Don't worry, this is the last time he does this. Vince McMahon comes out, and he says, all right, here's what's going to happen, Cena. You've faced all these guys, you faced them all at once, you've won all these different matches. So here's what's going to happen. The Royal Rumble will be for your WWE Championship. Remember, this is 2011, so it's only happened once before. 2016 hasn't happened yet, right? Or this is now 2012. 2016 hasn't happened yet, so that's his big. Vince McMahon is just so pissed that he can't lose, right? And he still hasn't had his belt back. And he can't lose, right? So then we get to the Royal Rumble. John Cena comes out number 1. Maybe it's Vince McMahon told him to. Maybe Vince McMahon. Actually, yeah, Vince McMahon. Sorry, thinking as I do this. Vince McMahon says the week before the Rumble, oh, by the way, you're coming out number 1 because I can't stand that you haven't lost yet and that you still lost the belt. Right? So he comes out number 1. And he survives until the final 3. I'm not going to book the entire Royal Rumble because that's ridiculous. Comes down to the final 3. Cena, Jericho, Sheamus. Those 3, because Jericho and Sheamus were actually the final 2 anyway. And Sheamus ended up winning. But here's how I would do it. It's the final 3. Right? Cena eliminates the 4th person, you know, whoever it was, the final 4. He eliminates him, does an attitude over the top rope, eats a bro kick over the top rope, right? Sheamus just bro kicks him, he goes over the top rope, he's out. He is done. Either Sheamus or Chris Jericho is going to be the new WWE champion. So now it goes in. Now in 2012, what happened was Sheamus beat Jericho. I'm going to switch that. Jericho ends up beating Sheamus. He hits maybe a code breaker to get him up, clotheslines him over. He wins the WWE Championship in the Royal Rumble. Right? And I'm not saying that happens right next to each other. It's not like Cena eliminates someone and then Sheamus and then Jericho wins. Right? There could be like 5 to 10 minutes in between where they go back and forth and tease eliminations and stuff. Right? It's not back to back to back. I want to make that clear. But Jericho wins. Right? Say code breaker to the ropes, clotheslined over. He wins. He's the new champ. Fireworks go off. His music's going off. He's holding the championship. I guess he could point to WrestleMania because it's he'll be going to WrestleMania as champion, even though that's not what happened. He's pointing to WrestleMania. He does all this. All of a sudden, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 goes off like Jericho's old school, Y2J Tron, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he's like, what's going on? It's not me because I'm already here. I already won. He's like, what's going on? What's happening? One hits, then the Tron goes back, not the entire lights, just the Tron, right? Go off, and everybody's like, what's happening? What's going on here? Cult of Personality hits off. Right? People are like, wait, what's going on? What is this song? This is CM Punk walks out, WWE Championship around his waist, right? And he has this big old grin on his face, and he points to Jericho, and he points to the sign, and he smiles, end credit, shows off. So now, all of a sudden, you're like, whoa, because I think from July to January, that's long enough where we're like, wait, maybe CM Punk actually did leave. So he comes back. It's far enough in between that we actually kind of get used to not seeing Punk around. And then the next night on Raw, Punk comes out and he says, hey, I signed a new contract, right? But it didn't start until the new year, so I couldn't. So I still had the belt, and I'm still a champ. And Jericho's like, well, I won the Royal Rumble, so I'm champ. And they go out and they figure out that, you know what, one match at WrestleMania. Jericho won his right to be at WrestleMania. Punk is still champ. They face each other, winner take all at WrestleMania in the main event. I would book this over the main event over Roxina. It's close, but Punk would keep that main. He would get that main event title. And I know Punk. It's a lot with Punk. It's way too far to delve into. But I think if he had that main event, maybe things would have gotten a little better. Even though he had a solid career basically until the very end. He seemed to be enjoying everything that he was doing until the end, until 2014. So this is 2012. Maybe he's still leading, maybe he still gets injured, maybe still stuff happens, maybe he still leaves at that time. But in 2012, him versus Jericho in the main event, winner take all, both WWE championships on the line. Is it Punk or is it Jericho? Undisputed champ. And Roxina happens, maybe the second to last match, or maybe it opens up the show. How insane would that be if the first match, just Rock came out. The first thing you hear in WrestleMania is, can you smell? And Rock just comes out and they have the match to start off. Yeah, it's that. And I would have CM Punk win. I would have CM Punk beat Jericho, but Jericho's reign goes in title books. It's kind of both at the same time. And Jericho's champ, the champion, if you will. And the same rivalry happened. They had the match, the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania anyway. So that rivalry stays the same, and I have Punk going over, and he's undisputed champ, and then he continues with Cena, because you're probably thinking, wait a minute, if he loses, he's gone, and he lost the Royal Rumble. What's going to happen here? Maybe Cena finds a technicality. Maybe say, hey, I already have this match with The Rock planned, and I technically didn't lose a match. I lost a Royal Rumble, I didn't lose by pinfall or submission. Like Sheamus got lucky and caught me off guard. And by the way, your champ is back anyway, so why are you gonna fire me if your champ is back? And Vince McMahon's like, fine. so something like it. But basically, Cena pulls Cena stuff and just says, "Oh, well, in the contract it says this. It doesn't say anything about losing the Royal Rumble. It just says losing a match or something like that." And the champ came back anyways. So maybe that's in the contract. That's as long as CM Punk's gone, if you lose and then he comes back, and that kind of voids the thing. So Cena still stays on. But that's how I would book the summer of Punk, which ends up being the road to WrestleMania. Punk, because he's gone for the summer. He leaves January after Money in the Bank, comes back for the Royal Rumble with the belt still around his waist. Jericho still wins the Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship, and Cena goes through all that to lose the championship. So let me know what you think. That's another Fantasy Friday. Let me know what you think of it. If you would change anything, how you would have booked the Summer Punk, because I know there's a million different ways to book the Summer Punk. How you would have booked the matches or the lead up, anything like that. Let me know, leaving a comment below. Right, like and share and subscribe to my videos. Me on Twitter is at Kinsella Comedy. You can follow at Squadcast as well. That's where all the videos will be. Facebook is Squadcast as well. We're working on getting Instagram and Snapchat going. But yeah, everything else is set. So like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if you want to be on. Tweak, do some videos yourself. And don't forget to ring the bell to stay with Ring Squad. Damn, I almost had it. Ring Squad. So let me know what you think. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.